Jai Hind everyone, I am Under Officer Km Ujama Khatun, Regiment number RJ18 SW630034 from Raj Engineering Company NCC Ajmer from Rajasthan Directories. Today I am presenting my topic Cultural Heritage of Rajasthan. Rajasthan is one of the prettiest and colorful states of India. It is famous for its beauty and rich culture. Rajasthan is known for its historical hill forts and palaces. It is claimed as the best place for tourism related to places. The state covers area of 342,239 square kilometer. It is largest Indian state by area and 7th by its population. When it comes Indian state with the highest number of forts, Rajasthan stands second number. The state has more than 45 forts. Rajasthan proudly houses the largest desert of India, which is the third desert known as the Great Indian Desert. Now we can easily see Rajasthan in our Indian map. This is the cities of Rajasthan. Now we will see the history of Rajasthan. The state of Rajasthan in India has a history dating thousands of years. It was the site of the Indus Valley civilization. The early medieval period saw the rise many Rajput kingdoms like Chauhans of Ajmer, Goilot and Sisotias of Mewar, Rathods of Marwar. Later the region came under suzerainty of the Mughal Empire. The Mughals granted high positions to Rajput rulers who aligned within them. However, some Rajput kingdoms did not accept Mughal suzerainty and were constantly at war with them. The Mughal rule effectively ended the 18th century in Rajasthan and Maratha influence grew in the region. The British made several treaties with rulers of Rajasthan who were allowed to rule their princely estates. This period was marked by famines and economic exploitation. However, the British period also saw the growth of railways, telegraph and modern industry in the region. After Indian independence in 1947, the various princely states of Rajasthan were integrated into India map. Now we will see historical icon which are our legends in the history are Prithviraj Chauhan, Maharana Kumbha, Maharana Sanga, Maharana Pratap, Mirabai and Rani Padmini. This is the images of Prithviraj Chauhan and Rani Padmini, Mirabai and Maharana Pratap. Now, we will see the culture of Rajasthan. The rich cultural heritage of the state is reflected in its impressive folk music and dances, different languages and dialects, the majestic forts, palaces, mansions and divinely holy places of religious worship, its multi-hued fairs and festivals, its tempting cuisines and above all its inviting the cheerful people. Now we will see the attire of Rajasthan people and females dress in the customary dresses fully influenced by climate, economy, status and the profession. The traditional dresses being dhoti kurta, angra, safa, ghagra choli, kanchugli kurti amongst Hindus and tilak, burqa ajkan amongst Muslims which are fast changing now and bushards, salwar and skirts, saris and pants accordingly. Here is the tradition dress of Rajasthan and this is called the Rajputi dress. Now we will see the dance of Rajasthan. The third desert of Rajasthan comes alive when its dances take the center stage. Rajasthan has great variety of dances which are simple expressions of celebration and festivity. Ghumar and Jhumar are the main dances of Rajasthan. From Ghumar and Jhumar, the Kuchi Godi, Tirahati Ki Abelyam, Gair Bhavani, drum dance, the fire dance are also important dances of Rajasthan. This dance is called Kalbeli and the second one is called Ghumar. Now we will see dramas. Rajasthan's spectacular visual folk arts include Ras, Jhumar, Gauri, Bhavai, Swang, Khayal and Katputli. The most famous of all these are Gauri and Swang. Gauri is a folk idea which signifies a drama where mythology, entertainment and the cult worship of trans collude. Swang incorporates suitable theatres and mimicry accompanied by song and dialogue. It is dialogue oriented rather than movement oriented. This is called Bhavai and Swang. This is the most famous drama in Rajasthan which is called puppet or Katputli drama. Now we will see the language in Rajasthan. There are various languages in Rajasthan which are Marwari, Dundari, Mewati and Hadauti. Other major dialects spoken are here Shekhawati, Bagri, Ahiravati and Wagri. Hindi is also widely spoken here. Now we will see the different types of cuisines in Rajasthan. Rajasthani cooking was influenced by both the warlike lifestyle of its inhabitants and the availability of ingredients. In this arid region, famous dishes include bajre ki roti and lasan ki chutney, mama kachori from Jodhpur, alwar ka malpuas from Pushkars and rosgullas from Bikaner. Bikaneri bhujia, mirchi vada and pyaz ki kachori are the famous snacks. Here we can see a big thal which is called the Sahi Thal, Chappan Bhog, and this is called the Dal Bati. See the myths of Rajasthan. A myth is a story that usually explains something about the world and involves God and supernatural things. Rajasthan has preserved many such myths in its boom. The famous among them myth behind Bhangar Fort, Sambar Lake. This is the Bhangar Fort. It is the Asia's most haunted place. And this is the Sambar Lake. It is India's largest saline lake, which is the salt producer. Art and craft in Rajasthan. Rajasthan is famous for textiles, semi-precious stones and handicrafts, and for its traditional and colorful art. Rajasthani furniture has intricate carnivores and bright colors. Block prints, tie and dye prints, Bagaru prints, Sanganer prints and Jari embroidery are major export products from Rajasthan. The blue pottery of Jaipur is particularly noted. We can see here the carpet and handicraft. This is also types of handicraft which contains umbrella and turbans. This is very famous in Rajasthan, which are wall crafting and puppet making. Now we will see the different type of music and music instrument in Rajasthan. Rajasthani music is very famous not only in India but also in the world. Music and dance are deeply ingrained in Rajasthani culture. Folk tunes of Rajasthan are very popular. Man, Des, Pipli, Nihalde are typically sung and accompanied by Ravan Hata. An inseparable part of folk music, folk instrument add the ever so important rhymes, the melody to the folk dances and the vocal performance. String instruments like sarangi, ravanhata, kamaicha and bapang add hunting melody to the music. The music instrument. Now we will talk about Rajasthan tourism, a state that invites visitors with melodic tune of Padharo Mare Desh, came to my land. Rajasthan is one of the most popular tourist destination in India for both domestic and international tourists. Rajasthan attracts tourists for its historical forts, palaces, art and culture with its slogan Padharo Mare Desh. Every third foreign tourist visiting India travels to Rajasthan as it is part of the Golden Triangle for tourists visiting India. Now we will see the different destinations in Rajasthan like Pushkar Lake Pushkar, Hawa Mahal Pink City Jaipur, Ajmer Dargah Sharif, Mount Abu, Pushkar Fair. Every year so many foreigners came here in Pushkar Mela, Udaipur. Now we will see wildlife tourism in Rajasthan. Rajasthan is home to several well-known large mammals. Its climate and geographic diversity makes it the home of over 250 mammals and 150 different species of birds, many which are unique. Ranthambore is one of the largest national park in Rajasthan, which have so many tigers. Now we will talk about tourist train. This vacation explores the royal land while experiencing the journey in the lifeline of the nation. Rajasthan rail tour packages are tailor-made to provide you to completely different experience in one single trip. The royal land and the mostly used rail service make the journey memorable. This contains all facilities like bedroom, sitting area, restaurants. Now we will talk about the economy of Rajasthan. The biggest wool producing state in India, pulse sugarcane, oilseeds, cotton and tobacco are cash crops of Rajasthan. Wheat, barley and bajra are cultivated in large areas, largest producer of edible oils and second largest producer of oilseeds. This is the edible oil. Thank you very much for listening me.
Festival of Rajasthan, presented by Rohit Kumar, Parakram Singh Chauhan, and Charchit. Festivals of Rajasthan. Some popular festivals celebrated in Rajasthan are Gangaur, Urs Festival, Marwar Festival, Teej, Elephant Festival, Camel Festival, and Rajasthan Folk Festival. Gangaur. Gangaur is colorful and one of the most important festivals of Rajasthan, and is observed throughout the state with great fervor and devotion by women folk, who worship Gauri, the wife of Lord Shiva, during March and April. Gana is a synonym for Lord Shiva, and Gaur, which stands for Gauri or Parvati, who symbolizes Saubhagya. It is the celebration of spring, harvest, marital fidelity, and childbearing. It goes on for 16 days in Rajasthan. The unmarried women worship her for being blessed with good husband, while married women do so for the welfare, health, and long life of their husbands and for a happy married life. Often people from distant corners of the town also flock to witness and participate in the procession. The Gangor festival reaches its epitome on the final day, when no matter which city you visit, you won't remain untouched by the grandeur of Gangor fair in the majestic lands of Rajasthan. Urs Festival. Nestling in the busy streets of the royal state of Rajasthan is Ajmer, a city of pure serenity and devotion, strategically located with landscape bordering it from all sides. This city is beloved to the devotees of the Islamic community. It is where the holy shrine of Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti is located, and it is also where the incredible Urs festival is held. It is celebrated to honor the Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti on his death anniversary. This festival, held every year at the Dargah and lasts for 6 days. Every seventh month of the Islamic lunar calendar, known as Rajab, the shrine of the Ajmer Sharif is decorated and illuminated with candles. Qawwalis are sung to mark the sanctity of the occasion. Thousands of devotees gather to offer their prayers, and performing ziyarat is considered as blessing. The holy grave of Sufi saint is covered with chadars sent from different corners of the world. Marwar Festival, Jodhpur. The Marwar Festival is held every year in the memory of heroes of Rajasthan in the Hindu month of Ashwin. Originally known as the Mand Festival, this festival is devoted to the music and dance centered on the romantic lifestyle of Rajasthan's ruler. This cultural extravaganza takes place mainly at the remarkable Umaid Bhavan Palace, Mandor, and Mehrangarh Fort. Camel tattoo show and polo are other attractions of the festival. Tej. Tej festival is an important festival celebrated with great zeal and enthusiasm in the desert state of Rajasthan. During Tej, women dress themselves in brightly colored clothes and singing, dancing, and applying mehndi on their hands. It is celebrated on the third day of the waxing moon in the Hindu month of Shravan and on the third day of waning and waxing moons in the Hindu month of Bhadrapad. Parvati is an incarnation of Lord Shiva's first wife Sati. Lord Shiva became grief-stricken and withdrawn after she immolated herself in protest of her father's disapproval of him. It took her 108 subsequent births to bring Shiva out of his meditative state and get him to accept her as his wife again. Her 108th birth was as goddess Parvati. Ideally, there are three Tej festivals, namely Haryali Tej, Kajari Kajli Tej, and Harlatika Tej. The invocation of Parvati's blessing during the festival is believed to bring about continued marital bliss. Elephant Festival. Elephant Festival is celebrated in Jaipur city in Rajasthan state of India. It is held on the day of Holi festival, usually in the month of March. The festival features elephant polo and elephant dance. The elephant festival begins with a beautiful procession of bedecked elephants, camels, horses, and folk dancers. The owners embellish their elephants with vibrant colors, jewels, and the most beautifully decorated elephant is awarded. Elephant polo, elephant race, the tug of war between elephants and 19 men and women are the featured events of the festival. The Mahots. Camel Festival Bikaner. The Camel Festival in Bikaner is a celebration for the camel, the ship of the desert. The city of Bikaner is famous for being the only camel breeding region. Therefore, the association of camel and Bikaner go a long way. Being loyal to the land of Bikaner, camels are an integral part of Rajasthan and thus dedicating a festival to respect them. The camel is indispensable to Rajasthan's traditional way of life. Various contests, including camel dancing, camel racing, and camel beauty contests, are held along with cultural performance by folk singers and dancers in the desert town of Bikaner. Special highlights of the festival for visitors. Visitors can try the special tea and sweets made from camel milk. Various stalls are arranged in the festival, offer exquisite jewelry, handicrafts, artifacts, pottery, etc. for sale. There are puppet shows which have dolls dressed in colorful attires to narrate folklore. The festival gets a grand closure on the last day. Stunning fireworks, along with the glittering lights, make the desert area of Bikaner look no less than a paradise. Rajasthan International Folk Festival, Jodhpur, is a 5 day long celebration of Rajasthani art and culture right at the foot of the Mehrangarh Fort in Jodhpur's Thar Desert. It is a charitable, non-profit partnership project of India's two biggest heritage trusts, Mehrangarh Museum Trust and Jaipur Virasat Foundation, and also been recognized by the UNESCO as a people's platform for creativity and sustainable development. Khammagani.
Good morning everyone. This is Anil Sharma from Raj Engineering Company Ajmer. I am from Rajasthan Directorate Ajmer Group and my topic of the PPT is Custom to Rajasthan. The content of my PPT is Rajasthani people have religiously followed the Vedas in every occasion and the contents are social custom, religious custom, birth custom, marriage custom and death custom. First is social custom. The Rajasthani people have religiously followed the dictum of the Vedas at every stage. The original origin of the Rajasthani tradition, rites, and rituals can be traced back to 1,000 years, right up to Vedas from birth till death. The second religious custom. Rajasthanis are predominantly Hindu or Muslim. Rajasthan has a rich tradition of folk music and dance it. Amer fort lighting. As you can see in the picture, the beautiful Amer fort lighting. Kumbhalgarh fort. Elegantly nestled atop the craggy hills of Aravalli, the beautiful Kumbhalgarh fort plays host to one of the Rajasthan's most brilliant light and the beautiful lighting of the Kumbhalgarh fort. Coke Studio. MTV's Coke Studio is known for its brilliant live studio record performances by musicians. the night show in the Jaipur. You can see picture in the diagram. Kathak performances. Every full moon night of the month, Kathak, one of the 8 Indian folk dance forms, was embraced by Rajasthan as a popular Jaipur Gharana Kathak folk dance. Men in the Mughal poshak and women in the Lehenga choli. Birth custom. The birth of the child is celebrated in an exhilarating way in Rajasthan. Copper plates are beaten together to announce the arrival of the child. When the child is born, the child is rubbed with wheat flour and given a birth. The baby is also anointed with oil and lamp black put on the eye line and a string tied around its waist. Namkaran custom. The Namkaran ceremony is performed either on the 11th or the 1st or the 100th day of the birth of child. The family priest is invited to perform the ceremony. He recited mantras from the Vedas and gives his blessing to the child. A name is given to the child on this day. Mundan ceremony. The hair of the child between the age of the 1 to 3 is shaved off in the ceremony. This signifies that the child is now free from his past according to Hindu mythology. You can see picture in the PPT. Travel in Rajasthan. Whether you choose to travel in style like the Maharajas of yore or take to the sky, whether you are looking for something a bit more rustic, you can be more assured that there are plenty of fun and adventurous way to take in a glorious sight and sounds of Rajasthan. Camel safari is the most beautiful and famous of Rajasthan. Horseback riding, vintage car, hot air balloon in Pushkar and Jaipur, and jeep safari and wildlife of Rajasthan. Marriage. Rajput wedding tradition. The tilak ceremony in the Rajasthani wedding is an equivalent of the traditional roka ceremony, where the impending marriage is Toran. Basically, Toran is framed Lord Ganesha picture, usually of a paperback, and it is hanged on the entrance of the wedding venue with all the floral and other beautiful decoration in its paraphernalia. The groom, who is usually sitting on the mare or an elephant with all the Bharat band on his entourage, stand near the Toran gate with this stick touches the Toran. This tradition is called Toran Marna, and the bride side usually keeps the Toran for 1 year, and after a year or so it is kept in any temple. You can see the picture. Rajasthan, a shopping paradise. With its rich and diverse culture, Rajasthan has long been known for its cultural art and craft. A shopping paradise. With its rich and diverse culture, Rajasthan has long been known for its cultural art and craft. Centuries of tradition and history has been captured in the exquisite where you will come across in the street and bazaar of this magnificent land. From jewelry to hand-woven sarees of painting of to pottery, there are so much more than just memories to take back with you when you visit Rajasthan. The jewelry, Rajasthan miniature painting, furs and pitchwise, leather wares, pottery, terracotta pictures. The last but not the least custom is the death custom. When the person dies, he or she is taken in a funeral process to the cremation ground. When a person dies, he or she is taken in a funeral procession. The mourner then throws faggots in the fire as a symbol of active participation in the cremation. When the rich person dies, coins are scattered all the way from the house to the cremation ground. Tia or Moser. On the third day after the death, the relatives go to the cremation ground and collect the ashes which they later immerse in the Pushkar lake or the Ganga. On this day, relatives and friends assemble at the dead person's house and perform Haval while Vedic hymns are recited by the family priest. On the 12th day, a grand feast is given in honor of the dead. Hundreds of people are invited to this cost the family a good deal of money. Eat in Rajasthan. Dal bati churma, lentils, shahi gatte ki sabji and kachoris are the most famous breakfast and the food in the Rajasthan. Now at the end, thank you for listening carefully.
Ram Ramsa, Khamma Gadi. I Cadet Rishabh Sharma from 2nd Raj Engineering Company, NCC Ajmer, welcomes you all in this presentation tour to traditions of Rajasthan. The word Rajasthan itself depicts its own meaning just by splitting it Raja plus Sthan. That means the land of kings. And we all know that it is a place of brave-hearted heroes. But side by side, it is also the most beautiful and remarkable state of India. Rajasthan can also be said as a Satrangi state, as it has different places with different traditions, languages, livelihoods, folk dances, and architectural wonders, but still, its culture makes it tied together. This is the main thing that attracts the tourist. There is a big role of traditions in developing a good community because the traditions are being followed by people of Rajasthan are those that pertain to that of the Vedic rites and rituals. The people of Rajasthan very strictly adhere to these traditional aspects which is very essential to be followed for a good community or a better livelihood. And these ceremonies which has to be done as a part of their traditions are known as samskaras. So now let's move on to some traditions of Rajasthan that are being followed in every part of Rajasthan. So our first tradition of Rajasthan is Tilak ceremony, which means a vermilion mark that is applied on guest's forehead, or generally it being applied on the forehead of groom in his wedding in front of both the families. This act cements the alliance between them, and sometimes even a sword are gifted to be the groom. Our second tradition of Rajasthan is its traditional poshak. In Rajasthan, you will find women wearing ghagra and kachli with their choli covering the heads. It is marked as a sign of respect, not submission. There are different kinds of turbans that are worn by men, which is known as safa in Marwar. Our third tradition of Rajasthan is making of mandanas on the occasion of festivals. Mandna is a type of rangoli, and in some areas of Rajasthan, mandnas are made on daily basis. Fourth tradition of Rajasthan is its traditional folk dances, which has a separate fan base all over the world. Rajasthan has many traditional folk dances. Ghumar dance, which recently has become an internationally recognized folk dance form from Rajasthan. The dance involves graceful moves like clapping, swaying the hands, and twirling around. Women wear colorful ghagra choli and odhni and make coordinated dance steps to popular traditional musical instruments. Kalbelia dance, popularly called the snake charmer dance. This dance performance is accredited by UNESCO as an intangible heritage. Women are dressed in ethnic attire and dance to folk music that men play. The steps look best in the angrakhi and odhni on a long skirt that turns around gracefully. Bhavai dance. Sometime you might have seen women balancing a number of pots on their head and dancing around. This is exactly that dance ritual by specific Rajasthani communities like Jats, Meenas, Bhils, and Kumars. It is fascinating stunt that these traditional artists perform. While balancing the pots, they turn around within the circumference of a plate or a glass. Kathputli dance. It is done by puppets held by strings that the artist controls. This cultural program is similar to a puppet show and consists of cart and a putli. The artists also create voices like puppets for the dolls to converse. Kachi Godi dance. This is a famous folklore genre showcasing tales of local bandits in the region from the dance form. It is performed by men artists in traditional costumes, kurta dhoti and turbans. They ride a puppet horse during the dance performance. Gear dance. Traditional artists, including men and women, are decked up in attractive, vibrant, and colorful costumes. Women wear ghagra choli, while men wear lengthy traditional attire with a stick, arrow, and sword. Chari dance. This dance form is symbolic of joy started by Sani community in Ajmer and the Gujar community of Kishangarh. This, this ritualistic folk performance is performed by females for special happy occasions like weddings, festivals, or when a male child is born. Chang dance. This dance form is also referred to as dhamal, where dancers perform fast-paced steps to the rhythm of chang. In this dance, men dressed in traditional costumes and sing, dance, and do the Ghumar carouse that captures the viewers. So these were the some traditional dance that are being performed in Rajasthan. Now let's move on to our fifth tradition of Rajasthan as its traditional crafts, which is famous in all parts of the world. So let's talk about these crafts. Blue pottery. It is a widely popular traditional craft from Jaipur, Rajasthan. These pottery items are normally embellished with animals, birds, and flower motifs. Handicrafts that are commonly made with pottery include a flower vase, ashtray, small bowls, and pots. Durei. It is a thick and flat hand-woven rug that Indians used to cover the floor to sit or sleep on. In areas such as Bikaner and Jaisalmer, duris are made from cotton yarns. Rajasthani Razai. Rajasthani Razai is a highly quality silk quilt. This handmade item has demand in India and worldwide. In fact, the quilts from Rajasthan depicts the wonderful and vibrant culture of colorful India. Above all, Rajasthani artists paint the whole quilt with their hands, that too with natural colors, which make these quilts more unique. Stone carving. Existing in India since the 7th century BC, stone carving art is a very rich traditional craft. The skills usually are passed down from father to son. The classical cultural stonework is like an extension of architecture. Lag bangles. Lag bangles, which are fabricated from molten lava, is the specialty of Rajasthan. Rajasthani wedding rituals require specific ornamentation, and festivals hold distinctive ensembles related to them. Other colors are significant on various other occasions. Mojeries. Mojeries or jutis are handmade footwear with exquisite embroidery. This traditional craft has made Rajasthan walk a long way while holding an attractive position. The motifs and patterns of the footwear vary from district to district. They are pivotal part of traditional dresses. So, these were the some traditional crafts that are being made in Rajasthan. Now let's move on to our sixth tradition of Rajasthan is its traditional food, which is famous for its taste. Dal bati churma is synonymous to Rajasthan, known for its crunchy batis dipped in ghee along with spicy dal and sweet churma. Bajra ki raab, an exotic dish that is another healthy option for vegetarians out there. Prepared from bajra, ghee, and warm ginger juice, jaggery, this dish is equally rich in iron and magnesium. Moong ki dal ka halwa. Winters in Rajasthan are more known for delicious moong dal halwas. Halwa is prepared from moong dal and garnished with rich dry fruits. The savory taste can be experienced every bite of it. Makki bajra ki roti. Makki and bajra is one of the most popular dishes in Rajasthan, consumed by most states in India. The taste of crispy roti goes well with the lasun and onion chutney. Gaver. The very mention of gaver lights up the eyes of innumerable sweet lovers. Available in various forms and shapes, gaver can aptly be called one of the crown dishes of Rajasthani food. So, at last but not least, I want to say a few lines on traditions. Tradition contributes a sense of comfort and belonging. It brings families together and enables people to reconnect with friends. Tradition offers a chance to say thank you for the contribution that someone has made. That's all from my side on traditions of Rajasthan. Thank you.